Welcome, everyone, and congratulations on taking your first step toward mastering the fundamental principles that govern the laws of building a cash cow out of your network marketing business. Your featured speaker is one of the most powerful speakers and trainers in the network marketing industry. He has taught thousands of people, just like you, to create a picture of success and turn that picture into reality using the techniques and approaches you are about to learn. Holton is among the top 5 income earners in the company and was voted Man of the Year in 2002 and 2003 by his peers. He is a platinum executive and one of the top 10 distributors who serve on the Corporate Leadership Council. Take out a pen and notepad and prepare to learn from one of the best in the network marketing industry, Mr. Holton Budd.
All right, Happy New Year's, everybody. How are y'all doing today? Everybody excited for an incredible 2004? How many people is this year going to be your year? Absolutely, that's what I'm talking about. How many of y'all are going to be able to get rid of and fire your boss this year? How many of y'all ever thought about having some plastic surgery this year? All the ladies raised their hand. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about taking out those credit cards and being able to cut those suckers in half. That's what I'm talking about, plastic surgery. But I tell you guys, it's very exciting to be here. I'll tell you, 2004 is going to be absolutely incredible. There's a lot of things that are in motion right now, and it's not just because it's a new year. I know a lot of people set New Year's resolutions, and I'm not one of those New Year's resolutions type of people, because most people set them, and for the first 10 or 15 days, or first 7 days, most people are on track. And then the rest of the 350 something days, they're kind of like off track. And but we're not going to do that this year. I don't believe in that. I just believe in making a decision, whether it's at the beginning of the year, whether it's at the middle of the year, whenever it is time for you to make a decision to move on, that's when the decision actually starts. That's when you start to resolve to get the dreams and goals that you're looking for. This year is going to be absolutely incredible. There's a lot of things that we have in store this year that's just going to skyrocket your business. The thing that I'm most excited about is not only, like I say, the new year, but there's right now just a sense of momentum that's all around this business right now. I mean, the company is just growing like by leaps and bounds. The system that we have in place right now is absolutely incredible. And what my goal is today is just to share with you some information of how you can kickstart your business, not just for the year 2004, but how many of you right now are really ready to make a decision to move forward and get the dreams and goals that you're looking for in this business? Yeah. And that's every single person in here. And that's what we're going to talk about. Now, the key thing is this here. I definitely advise you to take some notes, because you'll probably only retain about 15% of what I say if you don't take notes. Let me give you one rule of thumb. Anytime somebody is ever talking or speaking who makes more money than you, or the money that you desire to make, you should always have a notepad and a pen, and if at all possible, have a tape recorder. I can tell you guys, I grew up in the business just walking around the successful people, just listening to what they had to say, and I'd have a tape recorder. If they were going to say something, I had a tape recorder there, because there was just a little small nuggets that I was able to harvest, and I was able to take that stuff, and when everybody else was asleep, guess what I was listening to? I was listening to the real stuff that they got. And that made the difference between where I am now and where a lot of other people who weren't taking notes, guess where they are? Still not taking notes. Still not living their dreams. Still working for somebody else. Still doing the things that they don't want to do for the people that they don't want to do them for, and for the amount of money that they don't like. And so what I wanted to do was I just wanted to make myself just a little bit better in every single area than all of the other competition. Now, I'm not saying that your peers here are competitors, but guys, let's face it. In this industry of network marketing, there's 35 million distributors in the industry of network marketing right now. 35 million distributors worldwide. And the statistics are this: less than 3% of those people make over $100,000 a year. Less than 3% make over $100,000 per year. Why is that? If there's over $30 billion of revenue being generated in the industry of network marketing on an annual basis. So guys, there's a lot of money out there. This industry is just a baby right now. 20 years, 30 years, 40 years from now, we'll be talking about this industry doing $200-300 billion. We'll be talking about companies that will be doing in excess of $50 billion in annual sales. And we're just a baby right now. but only 3% of those people make over a six-figure income. Why is that? Are the 3% of the people not educated? Are the 97% of the people not educated? No. Are the 97% of the people not out there showing the plan? No. Are the 97% of the people, lazy? No. It's just that the 3% do all of the things that are necessary to do the business a little bit better and are a little bit more consistent and are a little bit more focused and pay a little bit more attention to detail than the other 97%. That's what makes the big difference. Most people think that, the income, if you fall in the ballpark of the same work habits as millionaires, that you'll kind of, make $500,000. No, guys, you got to do 100% of the deal. You got to do 100% of the deal, but you got to just be that much better than the other people. And this is what I find. And I always go walk into a room and I look around. And the first thing I do is I always look up front to see who's up front, because typically your leaders are up front. And then you know what else I do? I'll pay attention to what everybody else is doing, and I do the exact opposite. You know why? Because 97% of the people in this industry don't make a six-figure income. Why would I look around and do the things that 97% of people are doing? You walk into any room that a person not tells you, if they don't tell you to start taking notes, I guarantee you'll find 97% of people not taking notes. And so guess what? By you taking notes, you put yourself in that top 3%. And just by putting yourself in that top 3%, you put yourself in the category of doing the things that successful people do to bring about results that they're looking for. And so just pay attention. Just pay attention to dress. Pay attention to detail. Pay attention to posture. Pay attention to how people speak, how they actually talk, how they introduce themselves. Find the 3%ers that are already in the business and model those 3%ers. And so that's just what I'll start off in terms of what I call my little tip for how you can be successful in the year 2004. And not only in 2004, but every other year that you want to be successful in this industry here. It's going to be absolutely incredible, rocking year. Guys, today we're going to have a lot of fun. Y'all agree? Yes. That's what I'm talking about. Now, a couple of things I want to set the stage on today, and I want to just tell you, most of you know my story. 4 years ago, we were $250,000 in debt. Had no money. Credit cards were maxed out. Just didn't have any money. Just that's where we were. And we still had a dream, we still had desires, and we figured out a way through this industry of network marketing actually just a couple of years later, completely debt free, except our house, and owned our vehicles and things of that nature. And now things are just absolutely rocking. Things are just going absolutely fantastic. Our income is going up by the week. Our groups are growing every single day. There's thousands of people right now, every single week, looking to get in our business. And that's something that we confessed a long time ago. But I'll tell you one of the things is this here. It wouldn't have happened if we didn't have a desire. Because all of success in your 2004 is going to happen with your desire. I was talking to a group of people the other day, and I said that, you don't get what you want in this business. How many of you really believe that you really, before today, thought that you got what you want? Or that you could get what you want? No, you only get what you picture. You only get what you picture. How many of you last year wanted a six-figure income? How many of you the year before wanted a six-figure income? Now, how many of you the year before that wanted a six-figure income? How many of you the year before that wanted a six-figure income? How many of you the year before that wanted a six-figure income? How many of you the year before that wanted to be retired? You follow what I'm saying? And so what we find is this: 90% of the people, they want all of these things. They want this, they want that, they want this, they want that. They want a six-figure income. They want a huge organization. They want money in the bank. They want retirement. They want this beautiful home. They want this beautiful car. And they find themselves doing the same exact thing week after week after week after week after week, year after year after year after year. And guess what? Your goal was to want it. And guess what? A year later, you got your goal. You still want it. You only get what you picture. And so the imagination in this dream box up here is the catalyst to your six-figure or to your seven-figure income. Whatever it is that you want. I'm not here to guarantee your income, but this dream box up here, this machine up here, this multi-trillion-dollar computer is the catalyst to you getting the things in life that you want. And I find so many people, what they want to do is work on the technical aspect of the business, which is great. Technicalities and the knowledge, that's wonderful. But I'll tell you guys, if you can imagine it, if you can dream it, you can have it. Because when you start to dream it, when you start to imagine it, when you start to picture yourself having a six-figure income, when you start to picture yourself sitting at home at 10 o'clock in the morning instead of waking up to an alarm clock, when you start picturing yourself driving that car of your dreams or living in that home that you really want to live in, and you start picturing it, see, when you start to picture something, it happens almost every single minute, not every day, almost every single minute it's on your brain, subconsciously. And what happens is this, that subconscious mind, what it's going to do, it's going to find a way to make that reality come true. If you picture yourself not having success, if you picture yourself sick and tired of people not showing up, and I can find out what you picture by what you say. Oh man, you know what, man, people not showing up, when I invite people. Well, we're going to talk about that process today and how you can get over that. I find people saying, people just not getting in. That's what they're picturing. See, you can't say something contradictory to what you picture, not consistently. And so you have to picture yourself having the success. You have to picture large numbers of people coming to your organization. You have to have a vivid picture of what it is that you really want. Now, how do we go ahead and what's the fuel to the business? The fuel to the business is your dream. It's how you're going to take that picture, what that picture is, and how you're going to manifest that picture into your material equivalent. That's what we're going to talk about just for a few minutes here, because that's the most important thing. And people hear me talk about it all the time. They hear me, man, he's on that dream tip again. Here he is dreaming. Man, I used to love coming to training, but every time he's going to make you dream, he's going to try to make you think you're successful. Duh. Isn't that the purpose of this day? I just want to know, how to pop an ad in the paper. I just want to know how to call this person, how to do that. Well, the how-to stuff is great, but I'll tell you this, when you have a dream, when you have a strong desire, you figure out all of that stuff, even without an upline, even without somebody directing you on what you need to do, because you have the desire strong enough. And so the first thing it is, if you want to be successful in this business, guys, is you have to develop several reasons why you want to build the business. The reason that some of us haven't moved along is because you don't have enough reasons why. And if you look at every area of the things that you do on a consistent basis, you have reasons why you do them. How many of you go to work consistently? Why? Because if you didn't go, they cut the paycheck. And if they cut the paycheck, you lose your house. If you lost your house, family matters wouldn't be so good. You lose your car if you didn't go. You lose your savings account. Your kids couldn't go to school. So you've got a lot of reasons why you consistently go to work and do things that you don't want to do. How many of you really right now, honestly, and this is not to bash your job, how many of you could find something else better to do with your 40 hours than to go and show up and warm a chair? Okay, man, that's most of you. But there's a reason why you do it, and that's why you consistently do it. It's either out of fear or it's out of desire. Most people are motivated by fear of loss than the possibility of gain. We're motivated by fear of loss and the possibility of gain. And so what we've got to do, guys, is you got to find out what it is that you really want in this business. Decide what it is that you want. You have to make a decision. What is it that you want? And you have to dream it and you have to picture it every single minute of the day. I know this may sound kooky to some of you guys, and you may not have ever experienced this, but I'm just telling you, how I became successful. Remember, guys, 7 years I was in network marketing, never made any money. My biggest month was $500 in a month for 7 long years of network marketing. I never missed a meeting once, ever, in 7 years when I was in that first company, ever. I never missed a meeting. If there was a meeting and I qualified, I was there. Did I have the money? No. But you know what? From the beginning, I pictured myself at the meetings. And so guess what? My picture made it possible for me to get there. Nothing ever came up. And guess what? I had the same experiences in my life that you have in your life, but I found a way not to ever miss a meeting. Now, did I make money? No. I'm going to tell you why. I never made money because I never pictured myself making money. I'm trying to shortcut your success because it took me 7 long years to figure this out. And I used to hear the speakers on stage talk about developing a dream, developing a why. You have to have plenty of reasons why. And I understood that stuff and it sounded real good. And I always attached my dream to what the speaker's dream was. Speakers always talking about freedom and all of this stuff. I didn't understand what freedom was. How can you understand something that nobody's ever experienced in your life? You can't understand what freedom is. But I said that I wanted it, but I couldn't picture freedom. I couldn't picture being a multimillionaire. I didn't know any. Didn't have any personal friends who were multimillionaires. I didn't know any of those people. For me, being a thousandaire was a great goal. Not a millionaire, a thousandaire. I just wanted to be a thousandaire. We had a couple $100s in the bank, and I couldn't go from being a hundredaire to picturing being a millionaire. That's like right now, most of you can't picture yourselves being a billionaire. You can say it, but you can't picture it. Or most of you don't picture it because it's a big, big process to get from where you are to billions of dollars. Okay? And so I had to start picturing myself becoming successful. I had to start picturing myself having the bank account. And so I had to decide what I want. Now, the key thing for me is this here. I made a list of things that I wanted, and that was, for me, it was kind of difficult. It was kind of difficult. And so what I had to do personally, and I tell my story all the time about this, what I personally had to do, you may not have to do it this way, I had to do it in reverse. Because I had things in my life that I didn't want that income and network marketing would have eliminated. And so that became my motivation. Because, see, I couldn't get excited about a multi-million-dollar house. I lived in apartments all my life. We never even owned a house. We had a 2-bedroom house before that we rented. And I think the rent was maybe like $300 or $400 a month. I couldn't picture myself in that didn't motivate me. I couldn't picture myself in this beautiful car. That didn't motivate me. It just didn't. I couldn't picture millions of dollars in the bank. That didn't motivate me whatsoever. Freedom didn't motivate me. All of that stuff really didn't motivate me because I didn't know how it felt. I couldn't get the picture and get the emotions behind it. Because whatever it is that you picture, you must get the emotions behind it. And once you get the emotions behind it, that's how the picture becomes reality. So what I had to do is take what was emotional to me and turn it into some type of reality. You know what was emotional to me? And like I said, I had to do it in reverse. I didn't like working for somebody else. I knew how that felt. I didn't know how freedom felt, but I knew how it felt to work for somebody else 40 hours a week, 40 years, and retire on 40% of what you already couldn't live on. That to me was a no-no. That to me, I didn't like being under control of somebody else. I knew how it felt for my boss to say, you need to be here at 8 o'clock in the morning, Monday morning, and don't be 1 minute late. I knew how it felt to be degraded and have some other man tell me what I need to do with my time. I knew how it felt for them to tell me, hey, listen, you need to take a lunch break at 12 o'clock. How did they know I got hungry at 12? They didn't ask my permission, No. I knew how that felt. I knew how it felt not to have enough money in the bank. Because there were so many things that my wife and I wanted to do, and guess what? We couldn't do them because I didn't have the money. I couldn't picture at that time what it felt like to have a whole lot of money in the bank, but I knew how it felt not to have money in the bank. I knew how it felt to have creditors call the house. Or I knew what it sounded like. You follow what I'm saying? And so all of those things that we had, so many people see us today and they think that we didn't have any of those issues. Guys, I'll tell you one thing. 4 years ago, I could have sat right there in the crowd. Nobody would have known who I was because you know what? Our situation was exactly reverse of what it is today. No big cars, no big house, none of that stuff. No money coming in, no money in the bank, no freedom, bondage. And I knew how that felt. I knew how it felt. Now, this is what I did know. I knew how it felt to see mothers have their kids and have to send them off to daycare. And I heard the complaints all the time. I heard them all the time. I knew how that felt. And guess what? I didn't want any of that stuff. And what I did is I made a list of those things that had an emotional burn with me. And remember, for me, it was a reverse effect. I couldn't picture all the things that I really wanted. Maybe you can. I'm not saying you have to do it my way, but you have to have some reasons why you're going to build this business. So I couldn't picture all of those things, but I pictured the things that I didn't want in my life. And I figured out I need a vehicle to accomplish those things, I need a vehicle to give me the financial wherewithal to eliminate the things in my life that I did not want. That was my motivation. Remember, I saw speakers on stage. They say, how many of you are going to be a diamond? How many of you are going to be this? How many of you are going to be that? And I'd always stand up and raise my hand, but I never pictured it up here. And that's why I never got it. But you know what I did picture myself? I pictured myself at every single meeting. I pictured myself getting the knowledge. I pictured myself associating with positive people. I pictured myself associating with the people who had the income, the people who had the lifestyle, and therefore I never ever missed a meeting since I've been in the industry of network marketing, period. End of story. It was never an option for me to miss a meeting. Why? Because I just developed it up here in my picture. The benefit to that is this. Because I did picture myself at the meetings and I did picture myself at every event, I was associating, and subconsciously I was picking up the knowledge anyway, and I got the training on accident. It's a true story, guys. I got it anyway. If you take a kid, he's born in China, put him in America, raise him in America, what is he going to speak? He's going to speak English. Is he going to know one word of Chinese if he leaves his parents and to get raised by me and my wife? No. So he's going to pick that up on accident. And I don't believe in accidents, but you guys know what I'm saying. He's going to pick it up anyway. He doesn't know any better. And so because of my positive association with other people, I didn't have a choice. I didn't know any better. I didn't know anything else but to think a certain way. I didn't know anything else but to think in a success mentality, in a long-term mentality, and a wealth mentality. And so I made that list, and because of that, it made the things happen up here, it made them come true. And so what happened is this, because I made that list and I consistently verbalized the actions that I needed to get rid of the things in my life that I didn't want. And what happened is, next thing you know, things start happening in my life for me. Did it happen right away? No, it didn't happen right away. Why? Because remember guys, I had 20-something years at that time of negative thinking. And you can't go from 20-something years of negative thinking. Some of you have a longer period of time of the wrong programming. And so I had 20-something years of the wrong thinking, 20-something years of negative programming, 20-something years of job mentality programmed up here. And it took a while for me to dilute that process out so that I can now start thinking success mentality. And that's why some of you right now, it's real difficult for you to make a decision whether you're going to be at the power training or not. You know why? Job mentality. Success mentality people have already registered. Success mentality people are saying, when is the next function going to be, 2 months from now? Is there a way I can get a registration? Job mentality people think, man, you know what? I don't get paid until I'll do it after payday. Because we've been programmed to do things when the boss gives us a paycheck. And if you consistently do those things, guess what you'll have? You'll consistently have those same results, and you'll never live the things in life that you really want to live. I'm just giving you the truth here. And so first thing you got to do, guys, is develop some reasons why. Anybody ever heard of the lady whose son got trapped up under a car? And what did she do? She lifted that car up. Why was that? Why did she lift that car up, Tanya? She had a why. She had a reason why. She had her son. She had her pride and joy. Emotion was all wrapped up into that moment. And it didn't matter. When she had a reason why, she didn't go to the manual and she didn't call 24-hour fitness and say, hey, listen, I've got a son up here. What's the proper way to bench press this car? She didn't need information on how to do it. All she needed was a reason. Now, let me ask you another question. 5 minutes later, after her son had already been rescued, the car's still there. She goes back, try to lift the car up again. What's going to happen? Now, let me ask you a question. Did her muscles disappear in 2 minutes? No. What happened? Her desire, her reasons disappeared. Guys, to me, that's one of the most powerful stories I've ever heard. And if you understand that, that's why I'm telling you guys, that's why some people who are sitting right next to you right now, they have something happen into their lives. Next thing you know, 2 months later, 3 months later, next thing you know, they go from whatever pen level they are to one of the highest pen levels out there. Why? They found enough reasons to do it, and they got emotional about those reasons. So you have to develop a burning why of what you're going to do.
Wow, that's powerful information. Let's take a 30-second action break. Picture yourself achieving success as you write down 10 goals you would like to achieve in your business. Now remember, if you're driving, let's not write, just picture it.